Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. There's a press conference in the Audrii Cunningham case in half an hour, just under half an hour. Came on a little bit early so that we could have a chat, so that I could actually find the press conference. KHOU say that they're streaming it on their website. So we've got one location. I'm guessing that Grizzly's Hood News will also be live. So that's potentially another location. So I think we'll be okay for locating the press conference. Hopefully it'll be on time. The last one was running quite late, but hey, it's the information that's the most important thing, isn't it? Hopefully there is some good news. However, I'm not, in this case, feeling optimistic, honestly. But this is Audrey's Amber Alert. If you're brand new to this case, Audrey, according to the Amber Alert, though personally I do not believe this, she was last seen in the 100 block of Lakeside Drive, Livingston in Texas at 7 a.m. Neighbours who normally see Audrey walking to the bus stop did not see her on Thursday. So, anyway, she's 11 years old. She's 4'1", although she's potentially a little taller than that. Approximately 75 pounds. She's a white female. She's got blonde hair and blue eyes. And I'll just pop the Polk County Sheriff's Office. If you've got a credible tip about Audrey, if you're in the area and you have a credible tip, then the number to call is 936 327 6810. So I'll keep that running for a little while until people keep telling me what time's press conference, and then I'll put the presser info back up. The Amber Alert is quite blurry. You need to, it looks fine on my screen because I can see what you see on my other screen. If you go to the cog, which is your settings, and you change the quality to 720p, it might be a little clearer. So that's all I can do for you, I'm afraid. Oh dear. We have Bristol, TN and Virginia. We have a Bristol in the UK as well. I've only ever been there once, I think. So today has been another search day. If you saw my video from this morning, I just kind of caught up from the last few hours, really. Grizzly's Hood News, who, if you're on Facebook, you really should follow, because she's put in an immense amount of work in. She's boots on the ground. She's going to all the locations where the searches are and updating regularly. And I played a little clip from one of Grizzly's live streams in my video this morning, which showed the location where the searchers have been at for the last 3 days, kind of since early Friday, all packed up and gone. But the location now, they are focusing on the Trinity Bridge area, and all the Texas Equisearch are still there. They've all congregated around that particular area. So Trinity Bridge, it's a little bit way down from the dam. I'll show you on the map. Livingston Lake. I should have got this up. Livingston Lake, Texas. Here we go. Right. Okay, just let me share this. So the dam's down here. This is the dam. So the backpack and other items that they haven't disclosed what they are were found in this area. So they've moved further south. They were here actually yesterday as well, but the focus seems to be around here. I think there's another bridge as well, maybe further down, maybe not. I thought there's another bridge, maybe not. But anyway, yeah, they're downstream, so they're still focused on the water. And let's wait and see. Highway 59. Where's Highway 59? Whereabouts is it? Is it in the same area? East. Oh, there's Highway 59. So where does that? Oh, they're right down here now. Right down here now. Oh my word. Oh my word. So yesterday they were here. They were focusing around this area right here, right around the dam. And this bridge. Now they're right down here. So this is Highway 59. The news did say this morning that they'd closed the boat ramp. So I'm assuming it's this boat ramp right here. Oh, wow. I was hoping for news. Stay tuned, Deborah. There is a press conference in 20 minutes. So we're all waiting for news right now. That's what we're here for. We're all waiting for news. Now, it's a very turbulent river. Like right here where the dam is. If you've seen the clips, I'll there's a good clip on Twitter. I didn't save it, but I can find it again without too much problem. Manu, there's so many. Here we go. That's the dam. So this is footage from yesterday or the day before. I'm going to try and stop it at the dam. So that's that bridge. The bridge that goes over near the dam. So that's where all the focus has been for the last few days. There's the bridge. And then they pan round to the dam. The dam's right there. So they packed up. They moved from this area completely. I mean, look at how turbulent the water is. I don't know how deep it is. So now, if we're looking at Highway 59, the boat ramp at Highway 59 is right over here. So where Highway 59 goes over the Trinity River and this boat ramp, they're right down here now. That's a long way. That's further than I thought, actually. Like, I knew they'd move locations, but that is further than I thought. Wow. Go on this other one. So I don't know what's brought them this far downstream. Whether there's more evidence been found, or whether there's been, I don't know, a confession or something. I don't know. No idea. Not going to speculate, given that we've got a press conference coming in 17 minutes. That's where Miguel saw them, is it? Because all the focus has been around the dam and the marina, because that's where the backpack was found. Lost it completely now. Like this area, right down like the south end of the lake, but not the lake itself. So that is a lot of work, you guys. So whether they believe that they've cleared all of this, because if it's, you see, the thing is, if it's not tidal in this part of the river, they can just keep working downstream, going downstream, downstream, downstream. The problem is when you've got a tidal river, because when the tide comes in, then things get pushed back upstream. But if it's non-tidal at this point, and it's quite a few miles from the coast, so I would imagine it's not tidal, then they can clear one, you know, if they're absolutely sure, they can clear one area and then move further downstream. Or they might be working on information, because it's a massive task. It's unbelievably. I mean, if he's gone and thrown her in the river, what an absolute sick, mind-fucked person he is, pardon my French, but see, it's quite a few miles from the coast. If we go down this way. This says I-69 though. Might be a typo. Vintage mom of 3, member for 18 months. Thinks he'll claim accident. Yeah. He probably will. Let's read this article. This is from earlier today. Monday marks day 5 of the search. Search efforts were initially focused on the southern area of Lake Livingston. Friday, Texas Equisearch was seen looking for her in the area near 59 and the Trinity River on Saturday. Polk County Sheriff said the Trinity River boat ramp off I-69 will be closed Monday. So where's I-69? I think we probably better just wait for the press conference. Oh dear. I'm nervous, you guys. That's even further east. I-69 is even further east. Really? Oh my word. Unbelievable. Okay, let's have another look. So that's 59. So he's saying 69's even further east. Seriously? That's 69. Is there an I-69? Can't be much more east. I'll be in the sea. I-69 is the same thing as I-59. Oh, thank you. Okay. I-69. Okay, so one of these is I-59 and one's I-60. Got you. Right. Okay, so we are in the right location. I was going to say. All right, let's start looking to see the best place for this presser. So I've got here Lindsay, member for 11 months. I know. I want to be hopeful. I just don't feel it. I just don't feel hopeful. I don't feel hopeful, I'm afraid. Before you leave, I don't intend to leave. What are you talking about? Where do I get live stuff? Is it here? Am I being slow?
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media?
Yes.
We are too.
All the time.
The verified.
But I don't want to play your ad. Thank you very much. What's this? Would like to send me push notifications. No, you're all right. Okay, what's this? This is Cooking with Styles. Huh, that's live, I think. Watch live news. Okay, whatever. Coverage of the search.
And it has been nearly 24 hours since anyone has seen 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham take a...
Okay, I'm going to try their Facebook. So it says here, stream it live on 11 Plus and our mobile app. Now, they streamed it on YouTube the other day. Let's see if they're on YouTube. Oh, here we go. This is easier. This is easier. This is easier than trying to find it on a website. All right, they're going to be live soon. Okay, I can turn my VPN off just in case it starts interfering. Okay. All right, we're all good to go. I don't think she did make it to the bus, Sasha. I don't, honestly. I really don't. Was Stephen Grandma's tenant? I don't know whether he paid rent, but he lived in a trailer behind Grandma's property. I don't know what the actual arrangement was. Lynn, member for 2 whole years. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. Yeah, we watch Grizzly all the time here. Grizzly's great. I've been subscribed to Grizzly since, what was that guy called who'd been missing for years? And it turned out that his mother had kept him captive, except he wasn't. What was his name? I've been trying to think what his name was. It's been bugging me all day, and I've got videos on it. I could have just gone and looked back. Here's Grizzly. If anybody doesn't know who Grizzly is, she's not the same as Grizzly. She's Grizzly. Grizzly's Hood News. So she's based in Houston. So anywhere around the Houston area, she's there. She's on it. And she's not just covering this case. She's... Rudy, thank you. Thank you so much. Rudy. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, I found her when all that went down. See, she's covering all sorts. She's great. If you're in the Houston area, so that's her footage. So you can see there's the railway area, and then you've got the 2 highways. That's a few miles away from that dam, you know. Oh, man. Okay, I have got my eye on this. Patty Girl, member for 19 months. Everyone here in Houston has their fingers crossed, yeah. Mummy of Hamsters, member for 18 months. Justice for Audrii. Evil people make me sad. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Courtney, member for 29 months. That's nearly 2.5 years. Sadly, they're a big catfish at the dam. Oh, man. Oh, man. Wipe your lens. I do that constantly. Constantly. That's the boat ramp. That's fast flowing. How deep is it? Does anybody know? No, this is Grizzy, not Grizzly. People are getting this all confused. No, Grizzy is based in Houston. She's huge on Facebook. She's got like 751,000 followers on Facebook. Here we go. Yeah, Grizzy. Grizzy, not Grizzly. Grizzy's also on YouTube, but she doesn't have a massive following on YouTube like she does on Facebook. So she streams to Facebook. It's deep. Yeah. Not sure how deep. In the UK, we have like a river website, and you can look how deep a river is at any certain time. Like there's measuring stations every few miles, so you can log in and look how deep it is at the measuring station on any river in the UK. 30 feet. 30 feet. Is the sound? Because she doesn't. 30 feet. How am I feeling? Pessimistic. I've got to be honest.
I'm going.
All right.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Anything over 5 feet is too deep. You see, the thing with river searches is, yes, sonar's great, but if there's debris, sonar can't go through the debris. So it's divers, and divers have to work by feel. So water searches are horrendous, absolutely horrendous, because you've not just got north, south, east, west of any particular location. You've also got up and down, because a body might sink to the bottom, or depending on the level of decomposition, it might actually be not on the surface, but not on the bottom, but somewhere in the middle. And if it's very deep, it's very dark. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Do any of you guys have sound? Is this woman actually talking, or are all the mics switched off? Hold on. I'm gonna just play another video, because sometimes you guys can hear it and I can't. All right. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear this? This person talking. Can you only hear me? Right. Can you hear me now?
Something's, you know, in their visual mouth and their nostrils and their lips are nice and relaxed, versus, say, example one, which
He's
is a
talking
pretty
about
extreme example.
horses. Some
Wide
people are
eyes, which
saying
is
yes,
both
and some
the
people are
horse's
saying
eyes.
no.
There's going to be a lot of wrinkling there. We have ears pinned back, which usually means that they are in pain. Open mouth with a horse,
Right,
unless they're yawning.
right. You can
Something in their
hear,
mouth is
right. You
open,
can hear this woman talking
almost
about
always
horses.
going to.
Okay. She's somebody I follow for dogs, but she sometimes talks about horses, which I know very little about. Good. Okay. All right. Now, you might have to turn your volume up. People always fall foul of press conferences. They tend to not have great audio. This is the same. Press conferences the world over, it seems, don't have great audio. So I shout. So your volume that you've got with me, the press conference is going to be lower than the volume you're hearing right now. So when the press conference starts, I'm going to mute out and you turn your volume up. If you turn your volume up, you'll be fine. Even better if you can put earphones on or earbuds, even better. But all you need to do is turn your volume up and it'll be fine. Because people, when the press conference starts, I get lots of people saying it's too low, it's too low, it's too low. And it's not me. It's that you've got it at a certain level because I've got a loud voice. And when the press conference starts, because their audio generally isn't great, you've just got to turn your volume up, probably to max, and then it'll be fine. I'll turn my volume to max as well. I've got my volume on max, both on YouTube and on my laptop. They can't find her. I'll be surprised if they have found her, honestly. No, there won't be any CCs because it's live. No, look, there's no CCs because it's live. CCs only come on after. He is a monster. Absolutely. Absolutely. He is a monster. After the presser, thank you, Holly. After the presser, turn your volume down some. Yes. Because I'll come on like really shouting. I am very loud. And my microphone is way, way, way away from me. I can't be one of those people who sit with their microphone right next to their mouth, because you wouldn't hear anything. There'd be so much interference because it would just be so loud and just horrible. And I can't talk quietly. I'd be rubbish doing podcasts, you know, where they talk like really, they have the face right close to the mic, but they speak really softly. Like a good like podcasting voice. I am not that. I do not have a podcasting voice. I don't. So I have the microphone like a good foot away, if not more. It's a lecturer in me. It is. It is. I never needed a microphone when I was lecturing. I could lecture to a class of 400 people and the people at the back could hear me with no microphone. No problem. I've always had a loud voice. Pardon me, I just burped then. Michelle and ASMR. Yeah, I don't think me and ASMR match. I do occasionally watch ASMR videos. They are a little bit relaxing, aren't they? I know all the people to like and trust. Isn't that the case? So this case is reminding me a lot of Tia Sharp from the UK. If anybody remembers Tia Sharp, if you're in the UK, you might remember Tia Sharp. It's reminded me a lot of that case. No river involved, but Tia was murdered by Grandma's boyfriend. Grandma's long-term boyfriend. So we're just waiting right now. Remember Tia Sharp. I'm going to do Tia Sharp in a Crime Story Sunday one week. Stuart Hazel, absolute demon. He murdered her when Grandma was at work. Said that she'd gone out in the morning and she hadn't returned, so the whole country was looking for her. What he'd done is he'd murdered her, wrapped her in trash bags and hid her in the attic. And it was a week before they found her, and she was in the attic all the time. The whole time she was in the attic, because he didn't realize that the cops were going to like be surveilling the house. He thought that he'd have time after she was reported missing to go and hide the body, and he didn't. He didn't have enough time, so he just had to leave her in the attic. Susan, thank you for the $2.99 super sticker. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Really horrible. Tia was either 11 or 12, if I remember rightly. Yeah, he did. He made appeals. He did. Went on the news making appeals and all sorts of things. Didn't the body smell? Yes. The dogs, the dogs that they took in showed interest upstairs, right? But none of the cops could work out how to get a dog up into the attic because they'd have to use a ladder. So they ignored the dogs, and just a cop like got on a ladder, looked in the attic for like 2 seconds and thought, oh no, nothing here. And then it was the week after they went back to do another search of the house, and they could smell decomp. The dogs were going balmy over it. And eventually they worked out where the smell was coming from. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Absolutely crazy. Like, look, the dogs have got some interest upstairs. All right, well, should we set the dog in the attic? Well, how are we going to get the dog in the attic? The dog can't climb a ladder. Could we not just lift the dog up into the attic? Or could we not just not bother with taking the dog up into the attic? Let's just go into the attic ourselves and give it a thorough search, rather than just somebody sticking their head into the hatch and shining a torch around, because she was tied into trash bags which were black, and he'd like put the body right at the back. So if you just stood at the action like shining your light, you're not going to see anything. Here they are. They're coming now. Right, I'm going to mute out in a minute. Turn your mics on, guys. You turn your mics on. There we go.
Good afternoon. My name is Lieutenant Craig Cummings, Texas Department of Public Safety. Today we're here to provide some updates on the search for 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham, who went missing on Thursday of last week. I'm also joined by Polk County Sheriff Byron Lyons and Polk County District Attorney Shelley Sitton. I want to say that investigators are following active leads based on tips and evidence that we have gathered. The videos submitted to investigators by the community have been very helpful. We're looking for and asking the public's help for additional video on FM 3126 that shows the highway. This video would have been on Thursday, February 15th, between 6:30 a.m. and 8 a.m. So again, that's video from FM 3126 on Thursday, February 15th, between 6:30 a.m. and 8 a.m. that shows the highway. I also want to announce the Polk County Crime Stoppers reward has been increased to $10,000 for information leading to the arrest and prosecution of the person responsible for Audrii's disappearance. We are asking the public, based on the evidence that we have been getting right now, to stay away from Scenic Loop FM 3277 unless you have a need to be there. That is a potential point of interest in this investigation. We've had a lot of people driving down there. Please stay away. Let the investigators do what they are doing and our volunteers that they are doing so that we can bring Audrii home. We also want to say that we're thankful for the Polk County District Attorney's Office for their continued legal advice as they provide that to investigators in this continued search for Audrii. Investigators have given McDougal, who was arrested Friday on an unrelated charge, several opportunities to cooperate, and we remain hopeful that he will begin helping in this case. Now, we also want to address some rumors. that have been circulating. McDougal is not required to register as a sex offender. We would refer you to the various counties that prosecuted McDougal for inquiries regarding his criminal history. And we also want to say that McDougal resides in a camper behind the residence where Audrii lives with her father, grandparents, and other family. The family does have a relationship with McDougal. And with that, I want to turn it over to Polk County Sheriff Byron Lyons for some remarks for him before we open it up for questions.
Good afternoon. Since Audrii was reported missing, we have been working with investigators and volunteers, doing everything we can to bring Audrii home. Unfortunately, I've had bronchitis and it has impacted my ability to speak. So that is why I want to say first, thank you to the Department of Public Safety and to the FBI for assisting me with the social media and my media briefings. I also want to take a moment to thank all the investigators and the volunteers and members of the community who are working to bring Audrii home. The outpouring of support from the tips and from the videos and the donations of food and water has just been inspiring. As a community, as a county, as a state and a nation, the search for Audrii has brought out some of the most exceptional people that I've come to know. I have been in contact with the family, and they want everybody to know that they thank you and they appreciate all the prayers and how you've kept Audrii and them in your hearts. And they just ask that you continue to pray for them and Audrei's being able to bring her home. And I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has helped in this case. Any other questions?
Now that you're looking for where McDougal's vehicle was the morning that Audrii disappeared, are you able to confirm that he was the last person seen with her vehicle, that he was sent to the bus stop?
He was supposed to be taking her to the dropping off at the bus stop, and we do feel at this point that he was the last person who seen Audrii. There has been information found that there were some occasions that he did drop her off at the bus stop or even take her to school if she missed the bus.
There's rumors flying about that McDougal has confessed. Would you address that rumor?
McDougal has not confessed. He has been talking with some of the investigators, but at this point in time, he has not confessed.
That scene of interest that you're asking the public to stay away from, can you expand on that? What was found there? What led you there? Why are you asking the public to stay away?
You know, and that's kind of why one of the reasons that we're asking for the videos. We're trying to piece together a timeline of where he's been and the travel that he took, the roadways that he took. So this area is just one that's in particular that we can say that we know that he was in. And so we're making sure that we do extensive search of those areas. But the problem is that when we have a lot, and I know that people are concerned and people want to help, but a lot of time when we bring too many people into an area, it hinders our efforts in being able to try to find and locate evidence.
Do you guys know if that was Audrei's backpack that was found near the dam?
We feel strongly today that that backpack that was found is a high probability that it's going to be Audrei's.
There's a lot of water around her home.
This I think called the criminal investigation, and that foul play suspected. Could you expand on that? What crime is being investigated specifically, and could you expand on the foul play suspected?
Okay, yes, we do feel as though we are investigating a criminal investigation. And at this point in time, as we conduct our investigation, we are not leaving out or adding in any just charges. We are investigating the evidence as if any, if we find any, and then we'll let that be determined, you know, once we get all the evidence put together on what charges, if any, will be filed.
McDougal's 07 charge, 08 conviction for enticing a minor with intent to commit a felony out of Audrii County. The case information publicly accessible over the weekend, and on a holiday is very limited on that. Was that felony intended a sex crime?
And be honest with you, I don't know. I can't answer that right now because it's in another county. The only thing that I've been able to find out that it was not something that they were able to require him to register for as a sex offender.
Have you gone around the water taken McDougal go to the dam or the Trinity River since he's been arrested?
There have been some occasions where, on one occasion where we have taken McDougal, that he agreed to work with us and has taken us to certain locations.
She lives around water. Have you kept the water around her house?
I was hoping to ask about the email that was sent to parents on Friday, letting them know about the disappearance, letting them know and asking them to provide videos they were talking about. That email says that they were going to ask parents to look for videos starting at 3 a.m. on Thursday. Is there a possibility that Audrii Cunningham could have disappeared sooner, before the 7 a.m., which was the time that she was reported?
No. And see, one of the things in our investigation, when we conduct investigation, we want to make sure that we try to capture a good timeline. So even if we're looking at a projected time, say if it's 7, we still want to go to back up, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, because we want to know exactly what the individual or suspects may have been doing up until that point. Someone asked about water around the house.
Around the house. Has that area been searched?
That-
Okay.
That was the first area on the night that she was reported missing. Volunteers came together with law enforcement. That was the first area the subdivision searched.
Just to make sure I understand properly. So she did go missing before 7 a.m. She did.
No.
She did go missing
No.
before 7 a.m.
Let me take that.
6:45.
6:45 is when we felt like she went missing.
Do you believe that Audrey is still alive?
I'm hoping and praying that she's still alive. I am not giving up hope that we'll be able to bring Audrey home. So, yes, I am hoping that she yet is still alive. And we're going to work just as hard to make sure that we do everything that we can to try to bring her home.
Sheriff, is there any other person of interest in this case?
Okay, we got a couple questions at a time. Right here.
When you say is he being cooperative, I think that Mr. McDougal, he is what he's doing on occasions. He will, and I use that word cooperate lightly, but he is somewhat, working and talking with the investigators. But we are very cautious on the information that he's giving.
Are you guys
Sheriff,
able
do
to
you have
count on
any other
GPS?
persons of interest in this case?
I would say this, that there are, at this point, Mr. McDougal is our main person of interest, but we are not ruling out anyone else who may be or involved or may not be involved. We are not just honing in on just this one individual. We're making sure that we're covering all stones.
And do you anticipate charges being filed in connection to this case anytime soon?
I anticipate that if the evidence presents itself that proves that Mr. McDougal has committed an offense or crime, that charges will be filed in him in Polk County. So in speaking with the Rangers, we're just asking them, hey, take us to where in any places that you think or where you may have been. And so he has done that on one occasion.
I think you hinted at the answer to this, but we've had a lot of community members approaching us saying they want to volunteer to help search. Is there a place for them in this search, or do you really need them to step back and let you guys do your job?
Okay, and kind of like I addressed in my opening statement, is that I am so grateful for those who have came out and volunteered, raised their hands to want to participate. And yes, the volunteers have been great and have been very valuable to us. But one of the things that we have to do is that we have to limit and we have to make sure that we don't overdo it. Because remember, we are yet still, while we try to bring Audrey home, we are yet still making sure that if there's evidence or if there's anything that we need to capture or anything that we need to be able to retain, we want to make sure that we don't have so many people that we damage or destroy evidence at the time. So the way we are today, we had the volunteers meeting over at Tigerville Park. And then as we needed them, we would send an officer over to get those folks and then take them into an area to help search.
And to follow up on his question regarding the location where McDougal took you and other authorities, could you share that location and
At this time right now, we don't want to share locations that he's taken us to, other than to say that there are multiple places of interest that we have gone to and have made searches, and I'm sure before this day is out, we'll be searching other locations.
Because he did not find something, you provide more context on why you take him to those places. What is he saying when he takes you there? Just, oh, this is where we drove, or
And really, when it comes down to it, I wasn't there with those officers, and so I can't answer to exactly what was just said, other than these are just places that he instructed them to go.
Has McDougal made a claim that he dropped her off at the school bus?
No.
Was something recovered, Sheriff, from those locations? Is that where the backpack was found or other items were found?
The only thing at this point in time right now that I can speak to for sure is going to be that backpack.
so do you think he's given you false leads?
You know, and that's the thing, is that we have to just continue to work all the leads that he's presenting to us. Whether or not they're false or not, it depends upon how it works out and how the investigators are able to put those pieces together.
Are you guys able to count with cell phone records, maybe like where he could be?
We are working with every tool made available to us, whether it be cell phone, whether it be video, which has been an awesome tool for us. We are using every tool made available to us to try to piece together a window or a picture of where he may have gone.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, is he acknowledging that she never actually made it to the bus stop?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Just to clarify, is he acknowledging that she never actually made it to the bus stop?
At this time right now, he has not acknowledged that, whether or not she's made it, whether or not he dropped her off or she made it to the bus stop or not.
Has he admitted to leaving the house with her?
Yes.
Can you clarify that location where you're telling people to stay away from? It's called the scenic route, is the name of it, where it is.
It's off of the scenic loop. It's the, well, let me say it is. It's in the scenic loop area there near Tigersville Park. If I say on national television, don't go to this specific location, kind of defeat my purpose. But I am saying that there are officers that's in the area who are instructing people or directing people away from those areas. Please work with those officers if they ask you to turn around or they ask you to go into another location while they would search those areas.
Sheriff, you mentioned that he admits to leaving with Audrii Cunningham, and now we know she's missing. What else do you need to charge him for a crime? Because the child is nowhere to be found.
Well, our thing is, and the district attorneys here, one of the things that we must do is that we must not jump to conclusions. We want to make sure that we take all the evidence that we have collected. Yes, he may have been the last person with her, and yes, she is missing at this time. But we want to make sure that whatever evidence that we collect and that we place on an affidavit today is going to be something that's going to hold up in the court later. It does us no good to prematurely charge him now, and then 3-4 months from now it get tossed out of court because we were moving too fast. So I ask you, please understand as we work carefully through this, because Audrii deserves this. She deserves us taking our time. She deserves us making sure that we do it right. She deserves to have her voice to be heard. And I want to make sure that we do that and we do it the right way.
Sheriff, one of the cell phone techniques is called geo-tracking. One of the cell phone techniques is called geo-tracking. Are y'all using geo-tracking?
I will say this, we are using every tool made available to us to be able to work cell phones and videos and video to be able to try to track his movements that morning.
Has any other person of interest come to fruition, and have they been eliminated?
There have been other persons that we have certainly have looked at, and at this point in time, we're not ruling anyone out. You know, at this point, we are still, it's an active investigation, and everybody's going to be looked at. Everybody's going to be maintained until we can definitely say for sure, either you are or you're not a party to this investigation.
What are the details about the aggravated assault charge that he's currently in jail for? Can you expand on that?
The details, what I can go to in on that was, it was an aggravated assault that took place August, I believe, and that in that investigation, there were some, during that investigation, there was some circumstances that took place that would not allow us to be able to arrest him at that time. And he would not cooperate, would not basically lawyer it up, would not talk with the investigators. But on, I think Saturday, Friday night, whichever night he was arrested, he did make the statement to that offense, which at that point in time he was arrested for.
What was the offense? What is he accused of doing in
It was an aggravated assault. He assaulted another individual.
Male, female?
Male.
We've also
brotherhood. Are you able to confirm that?
We have heard those same things, and we've been told that there is an affiliation with the Aryan Brotherhood. Those are some things that we will come back after we are able to get Audrii located, and we will tie those things down to prove whether or not he's affiliated or not.
Are you guys doing an extensive search for any evidence in the house, the RV, the home itself?
Those things have been done. Yes, ma'am.
Two more questions.
Have you talked with Audrey's dad or family members?
Yes,
Are they cooperating?
very much so.
Can you expand a little bit more on the relationship between Audrey's family and him? I know you mentioned he lives in an RV on their property, but were they friends prior? Anything like that?
And for this to be our last question, to answer your question is that basically the way it was explained to us is that he was a friend of the family, a friend of the father, and he was allowed to live there in a trailer behind the house, and he was a friend of the families, and basically that's why he was there, allowed to live there. I appreciate what everyone has done. I appreciate your helping us get Audrei's story out there. And thank you so much for your diligence in this. And I ask you, as you continue to work with us and allow us to tell Audrei's story, allow us to work this investigation properly and understand when it doesn't go or doesn't appear to go the way that you feel it should. Trust us that we're getting it done, and we're trying our best to do it the right way. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Your service and your officer service.
Thank you.
Guys, turn your volume down. If you turned your volume up to listen to that, turn it down now. I'll give you a 30-second warning before I start shouting. Before I really start shouting, because you know what? I've got effing questions. I really do. I have effing questions. Now, look, I absolutely agree that they should take their time. Charging him with something now is just a folly, because he's clearly a slippery character, and you know he's innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. And if they put a PCA together now and it falls apart a few months down the line, it's wasted a few months. Okay, so let's not do that. They might as well just keep him in jail. They know where he is. He's not going anywhere. He's not going to bond out. So he is where they need him to be. However, I've got questions. Look, he said that the last time Audrii was likely seen was 6:45, and he was likely the last person to see her. Okay, so my question, if I'd have been in that audience, my question would have been, when was the last time that either grandma or dad saw her? Because I don't believe a word that this guy is telling the cops. Now, I don't know what he's telling the cops. I just don't believe it, all right? I just don't believe it. So, if he's giving the cops the runaround, which it does sound like he is, I want to know when was the last time Audrii was seen by anyone except him. That's what I want to know. That's one of my questions. Thank you so much, Vintage Mama of 3, for the $5. And I had a humongous donation before we oh, it's gone. It was $49. There it is. $49.99 by Cheryl. Thank you so much. $49.99 by Cheryl before the press conference ended. So that's very kind of you. And thank you, Vintage Mama of 3. You are so kind. Okay. How do I get this off the screen now? Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm going to rearrange my screen again. So that would be one question. My second question would be, what story has he actually told you? So as he said that he dropped her off at the bus, is that the story he's going with? Because that's the story that the news is going with. So I'd have liked to have heard that from the sheriff. Did he take her to the bus? And something very similarly worded was asked. And it got a little bit confusing because he hasn't confessed. Thank you, Elizabeth, for the £2. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. So he hasn't confessed, but he's talking to them. So it makes me believe that they don't believe what he's saying, yet they have to listen just in case something he does say proves to be true. So he could be sitting there in his cell making up story after story. So how do we know that I took her to the bus stop? How do we know that that's true? That's why it all comes back to, when was the last time Audrey was seen by anyone other than him? She was at school on Wednesday, yeah, but not on Thursday. Yeah, she didn't get on the bus on Thursday. They know for a fact she did not get on the bus on Thursday. He's pretending to cooperate. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. In fact, they'd love to wipe the smirk off his face. Absolutely. Is waterboarding legal? Asking for a friend. I'm pretty sure waterboarding's legal. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Just take him down to the river, waterboard him a few times, throw some, I don't know, tasty morsels into the river, and, you know, get some alligator interest if there's alligators out there. Maybe there's not on a river, but anyway. What are the street names the sheriff gave? Yeah, I was trying to listen. Now, on the... I'll replay, because it was right at the beginning, wasn't it? This was on the news the other day. The cops wanted camera footage, whether it be trail cam, dash cam, doorbell cam, from 3 a.m. on Thursday, and those were the routes. So FM 2457, FM 3126, and the scenic loop, and FM 350. Now, FM 3126 was their interest still. So it's that bit. Oh, I can't point to it on here because I've got it on slide. So right next to the water, FM 3126. So where right down at the bottom, that's where the dam is. So FM 3126. Let's just play that beginning bit and listen again. Because I thought I could remember it, and now I can't remember what he said. So let's just play it again. It's right at the beginning. Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Lieutenant Craig Cummings, Texas Department of Public Safety. Today we're here to provide some updates on the search for 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham, He went missing on Thursday of last week. I'm also joined by Polk County Sheriff Byron Lyons and Polk County District Attorney Shelley Sitton. I want to say that investigators are following active leads based on tips that and evidence that we have gathered. The videos submitted to investigators by the community have been very helpful. We're looking for and asking the public's help for additional video on FM 3126 that shows the highway. This video would have been on Thursday, February 15th, between 6:30 a.m. and 8 a.m.
Okay. Okay. So this stretch right down the lake, the FM 3126, that shows the highway, he said. That shows the highway. All right, let's work out what that looks like on the map. Map time, everybody. All right. So it's this bit, isn't it? That shows the highway. Yeah, FM 3126. Can we go down there? So camera footage that shows, so basically camera footage that will try and catch his vehicle. So that's miles away from the dam. I mean, it's not a million miles away. But the dam, oops, the dam's right down here. Is that still FM? Yeah, so all of this is FM 3126. So basically, I'm imagining it's going to be video closer to the dam. However, what if, speculation alert, what if he planted that backpack? I mean, how do we know? I don't believe anything he says. So this is 19 something. So 3126 ends here. So all that road there, if you've got camera footage that shows that road between, what did he say, 6:30 and 8 a.m. on Thursday. So that will be either taking her somewhere or dropping her or coming back from dropping her off from somewhere. Curious if there are live webcams, nature cams around Lake Livingston or fire cameras. If you're in the area, can you answer that? Does anybody know? See, this is why my question, every question I have goes back to, when was the last time anyone saw Audrey other than him? Can we confirm that someone else saw her at 6:45 a.m. on Thursday. Because if Grandma was up and about at 6:45 on Thursday and saw Audrey and she was alive and well and she was heading off to school, then she was alive and well at 6:45. So whatever happened after 6:45. However, if he was the last person to see her, when was the last time anyone else saw her? Every other question goes back to that. So, I mean, look, I don't think Dad did anything. I don't think Grandma did anything. What I want to know is who was the last person to see her? That's it. Where was everyone else who lived in that household on that morning or on the Wednesday night? Where is Grandma? Where is Dad? They were at the prayer vigil, or at least Grandma was. Grizzy Hood News said that she went to the prayer vigil and she saw Grandma there. Grandma was there. I don't know if Dad was there. I assume he was, but I don't want to say that for a certainty. No, this is the point, Diane. Has the grandmother stated that Audrey was there in the AM? This is my point. We don't know. That was, if I'd have been one of those journalists asking questions, that would have been my question. Who was the last person to see her other than Stephen McDougall? And what time was that? Because I'm sorry, I can't believe anything he says. So if he says that he saw her at 6:45 a.m., I want proof. I want proof that somebody else saw her at that time. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to believe that he didn't take her to the school bus and something horrible happened to her earlier than that. It's the number one question, isn't it, Maligator? Maligator, you're not do you share your life with a Belgian Malinois by any chance? You know, Maligator. I guess that's all I've got to say, honestly. Yeah, I know Dad was working out of town. I know that. There was some speculation as to whether he was actually back on the Wednesday night. You do have shepherds, hey? But law enforcement doesn't want to put out that Grandma left her with a piece of shit. Nobody asked the question, though, did they? I mean, nobody asked the question. Thank you, Burley Old, for the $2 Canadian. That's very kind of you. Oh, this chat's moving fast. I can't even heart that comment before it's gone. There we go. Thank you so much. I wonder what other family was in the home referred to in this press conference. Well, there's Dad, there's Grandma. It's my understanding, but don't quote me on this. It's my understanding that Dad has another little boy who's about 3 years old. So I've seen photos of Dad on Facebook with a young woman. So I'm guessing that's his girlfriend. I don't know whether she lives there as well. I don't know the answer to that. But we know for sure, Dad and Grandma live there. But Dad works on a boat, so he's not there all the time. Yeah, he does work away. He's not there all the time, so he goes for like weeks at a time. So when he's away, Grandma has custody. So it's my understanding that last Thursday, Grandma was the custodian of Audrey. That's my understanding. Yeah, she did. She did. The mum did say that she should be home with her little brother. Yeah. He's a ship's captain, is he? He's a very young ship's captain. Maybe he just looks young. You wonder if Grandma works and leaves the house at 6:45. That's a good point, Sylvia. But again, if the cops can confirm that, yes, Grandma did see Audrey on Thursday morning, so it's from her that they're taking that timestamp, that she was last alive and well, confirmed at 6:45 Thursday morning. He's 29, is he? He looks way younger than that. Maybe I'm just old. You know, when the older you get, the younger everyone else looks. Like, I look at like police officers these days and like teachers and that, and think, how are you in a responsible position? You look 12. And they're not, they're like 30. You think they're separated? Okay. Okay, so the little boy doesn't live with dad, or maybe lives with dad part of the time. Not that it necessarily matters where that little boy lives, unless he's unsafe as well. And then it matters. And then we know that Cassie, the mother, has another little girl. Yeah. Wondering if that's why they're saying last seen at 6:45. Maybe Grandma. Yeah. Yeah. I hope so. I hope that is, you know, a hard, you know, hard and fast, absolutely confirmed by someone else that Audrey was alive and well at that time. And then it makes sense for them to want camera footage of the highway. So once again, it's FM 3126. So it stretches all the way from here, where it joins this road here, the 19 something, which is quite close to the dam. So the dam's just down here. Thank you so much, Cat Mom Life. Thank you so much for the dancing avocado and the $20. Thank you so much. Okay, so it goes from here all the way around. So I don't know how far north they want it, because it goes all the way around here to there, I think. But anyway, I'm assuming they want it to see. So between 6:30 and 8, was he taking Audrey somewhere, or was he coming back from somewhere? Keep going north. So it goes out. Does it go all the way up? You know, when you learn it, so it goes all the way up here. You know, when you learn a new case and you end up knowing the roads, like as if you live there. You know, I'm like that with the Summer Wells case. Like, I can talk about all the roads as if I live there. And it's not. It's just that I know Google Earth so well. So it goes all the way from here, where it joins 2-4 something, all the way down. So if you live anywhere along this route, look at all the woods. Look at all that. You see, the thing is, if they suspect that he's spinning them some kind of a line, and where have I gone here? 3126, yes, so there. And then all the way down here as well. All the way down here. To there. So if they suspect he's feeding them some kind of a line, then maybe they've got him on camera somewhere along this road. Now, obviously, they're not going to tell us where, but maybe they want to know what direction he went in after that. So that, you know, they can maybe then interrogate him and say, hold on a minute. Audrey was alive and well at 6:45, confirmed by Grandma. Now, let's just assume this is highly speculative. This is just a hypothetical conversation. If Audrey was alive and well at 6:45, confirmed by Grandma or someone else other than Stephen McDougall, and then they see Stephen McDougall somewhere along this road soon after that, they've got to assume that Audrey is in that vehicle with him. So then they need to know what direction he goes in. And then they need to know at what time he comes back, where he goes after that. Now, the one of the journalists asked whether they have been doing like cell phone stuff. Smartwatch. If he's got a smartwatch, it would have to be within so many yards of his phone. So if his phone was turned off, I'm assuming that his smartwatch wouldn't work. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I've not had a smartwatch for years because I lost mine. I'm convinced it's in the house somewhere. Well, no idea. Cameras at the lake. You see, this is the thing. He knows this area well, so he's going to know where the cameras are, isn't he? And you would think that there would be cameras around this dam. You would think. So if there's, you know, I mean, what are there? They're people's like private, they're like private boat ramps. So you'd think that a lot of these people are going to have cameras. You would think that around the marina there'd be cameras. Now, if you go further inland along the river, you got much less likelihood that there's cameras along the river, unless it's close to dwellings or near a bridge. Yeah, that's what they want, dash cams. So any camera. So if you were driving on 3126 on Thursday morning, check your dash cam footage. If you're anywhere in that area, anywhere at all in that area, and you have a dash cam, check your dash cam footage for last Thursday morning. So it doesn't necessarily have to be trail cams or doorbell cams. Dash cams are brilliant for this kind of stuff. Because you might end up finding out that you followed this guy, you know, inadvertently. You were following him and he's right there in front of you. Yeah, traffic lights, city buses have cameras. I think this route though is quite rural by the looks of things. But you're absolutely right. Which is why I think, and I've said this for several days now, I think they've got him on camera at some point. And I think they need more camera footage to work out exactly where he went and what route he took. Because if they know what direction and what route he took, then they can at least start to eliminate some of the other places where he might be telling them to go that blatantly aren't true. So it was right down here at Route 59 where they've been today. That was one of the locations where we know that he was seen with cops. But the sheriff kind of made it sound like they'd been to several locations with him. So what on earth is he telling them? So what did he tell them that took them all the way down here? All the way down here, it's miles away. I mean, it's many miles away, but it's still quite far downstream. That's why I was surprised when I realised how far downstream this bridge actually was, where they've closed off the boat ramp here today. So what did he tell them to convince them that going down here and actually searching here for the whole of today? What did he tell them? Obviously, the cops can't tell us, but what did he tell them? Did he say that, he decided to take Audrii for a ride on a boat? What did he tell him? What did he tell him to end up down here? When the backpack was found near the dam. And the sheriff said the backpack is, solid. As far as they can say, they believe that backpack is Audrii's. So what was the backpack doing here? And McDougal took them all the way down here. They know he's lying. Surely they know he's lying. They know he's lying. So they need to know where he went and to piece together a route so they can eliminate some of the nonsense that he's going to tell them, because he's going to end up, the longer Audrii is missing, assuming that she's deceased, this is horrible to say, but the more decomposed her body becomes, especially if it's in water, and the less likely it is for an autopsy to tell a full and complete picture of what happened to her. So it benefits him. I don't know whether he's worked all this out, but it definitely benefits him to keep them running in circles for as long as possible. So while he's sending them running in circles, they have to try to work with the public to get as much camera footage so that they can confront him with it. They can say, you're lying and here's why. This is you on camera at such a time in this location. This is you 10 minutes later in this location. We know you're lying. And they can cut him off like that. They can actually properly interrogate him. Thank you so much, San Diego Jan. Thank you for the $49.99. That is so kind. So kind. It is incredibly sad. Incredibly sad. And apparently that's your first super chat. YouTube tells me that. But that's very kind of you for the first ever super chat. I trust no one either. Yeah, I wouldn't let that guy near anybody. I wouldn't let him near my hamster. I don't have a hamster. I used to have a hamster. He died though. He was a very old man when he died. There's a funny story about Tilly and the hamster, but I'll save it for another day. Very funny story. Tilly's terrified still of small creatures because of it. But I don't know. They have to, and the public can't lose. The public can't lose faith. It's very easy at this point to say, "Oh, law enforcement are doing nothing, and you know they're not working hard enough." No. If she's in the water somewhere, it's incredibly difficult to search water. But at the same time, she might not be in the water, and they might be searching the water because that's all they've got to go off at this moment in time. So I hope that the public in that area don't lose faith and they carry on working with law enforcement to give them as much information as they can possibly give. Because the more camera footage they have, even if you don't think it's useful, at least if you can say, I was here at this time and Stephen McDougall isn't in this footage, that's useful. That he wasn't on that 3126 or whatever it is at that time. He wasn't there at that time. Even that is useful. Useful beyond your wildest dreams, because they have to start collecting evidence that will cut this guy's potential for lies down so that they can interrogate him with a good knowledge of where he was, but also where he wasn't. It is flashback to Gabby and the dirty laundries, yeah. They do know a lot more. Absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. That's why I think they have got him on camera, but they need to work out the route. Yeah, he said he went fishing. No, he said he went fishing here on Alaska, right down here. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that was the first story. That's what he was telling people on the Thursday. Before they arrested him. Well, no, it would have been the Friday. So Thursday night into the Friday. So they arrested him Friday night. He said to people that he was fishing on Alaska, which is here. So what's that road there? Highway 190. So he would have gone from right down here. Okay, from down here all the way up here. So now, presumably, they may know that he didn't go there, because if there's only one way to go there, I mean, is there only one way to go? There's only one sensible way to go there. Like, you have to cross this bridge to go there. I suppose you could go around here, up here. You could go up there, down there, round there. But no, you have to cross this bridge without going miles and miles and miles out of your way. So they might know he did not cross this bridge on Thursday, because presumably there's going to be cameras somewhere along this route here. So that would have been a really stupid place for him to say he went. But that's what he was telling people online, that he went to Onalaska. But if the cops know he wasn't there, then that's one place they can rule out. So all these places are going to have cameras, aren't they? I bet you any money that whatever that is, a diner, that'll have a camera. So there's going to be cameras around here, and I bet you any money there's cameras on the other side of the bridge as well. So if they can say, no, you weren't in Onalaska, you let him talk a little bit. So, okay, you were swimming in Alaska. What route did you take? Oh, I went over the bridge, this bridge. Oh, all right then. How come you're not on any camera footage? That's a bait shop. All right, so they're going to have cameras. The shops are going to have cameras, or there's going to be cameras on this route somewhere, right? So he'll go, oh, all right then. Maybe it wasn't Onalaska. Maybe I went to Onalaska a different day. I'm getting confused. I'm sorry, officer. So then they say, okay, you went to Onalaska a different day. We know you weren't there on Thursday. So where were you on Thursday? So then he tells him he was fishing somewhere else, right? So then they have to go there and try to work out, well, was he there? Was his car on camera anywhere there? Do you see what I mean? This is how difficult it becomes when you've got somebody. Not only is this a needle in a haystack, but you've got somebody in custody actively telling you lies. Can you imagine how infuriating that must be? So it is like two sharps, yeah. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Karen. How many thumbs ups have I got? It's telling me I've only got 71 thumbs ups, but I can't believe that's true. I'm pretty sure more than 71 people have thumbed up. But, all right, guys, I am going to go now. I'm going to go and listen to that press conference again, because I feel that I missed some details. 835. Ooh, close to 1,000. All right. Okay, I'm going to go. Still got 1,200 people in chat, but sorry, guys, I'm going to go. It's quite late here. Well, it's not that late, actually. It's 20 to 10. Or is it? Is it? Yeah, 20 to 10. All right. So thank you all for joining me. Incredibly, incredibly sad case. Still, Audrey is out there somewhere, and the lowlife in jail isn't talking. I'm sure waterboarding's legal. I'm sure it is. All right, folks. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for the very generous donations that I've received this evening. It's very much appreciated. Donations of any size are appreciated, very appreciated. And yeah, thank you as always to the mods, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here live if there's any developments or another press conference or something like that. There'll also be a video, probably there'll also be a video as well. And Adam Montgomery's trial is back tomorrow, so got to be watching that. So I'm going to be like eyes on two cases. And there's some little updates in the Delphi case as well that I want to talk about at some point, but this one at the moment is the one that's taking front and center. See me for Harmony tomorrow. Yeah. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.